to take flight with Audio Airstrike.
So, I got to ask, how was your Thanksgiving break?
It's terrible. Well, no, I got to hang out. It was good. I got to see the fam. I sparred a bunch of rounds in Connecticut and New Jersey, and that was, dude. I got pieced up. I got picked apart. It was bad, bro.
All right, we got to talk about this. Why in the world are you sparring in the middle of Thanksgiving break? It's time to chill out, be with the family, not really do too much. You really are doing the most right now. I will say that.
I am doing the most, but I like to do the most. I like to pressure. I like to push myself, man. Like, there's something cool about pushing yourself outside of your limits. And weirdly, I'm addicted to training. I keep thinking about wanting to get new gear, going back, getting better. There's something very addictive about it for me. I want to be the one piecing guys up. Now, granted, I went in there, and it was a gym full of absolute savages, and Coach made sure to give me 4 of his best when they were fresh off the bat. So 2-minute rounds. I had about 8 minutes of constant hell. I think I got dropped by, 3 different shots to the body, at least. They weren't going hard to the head, but... they let me feel it. Besides, that was after Thanksgiving. That was have Thanksgiving, go, and you travel to Connecticut the next day.
Bro, it don't matter. You took your Black Friday and said, I'm just going to get pieced up and my jaw rearranged by some dudes in the gym.
You didn't say jaw rearranged. My jaw was not rearranged. My nose, maybe. My nose, that's another thing I've actually figured out about my anatomy is that my nose is so large that a dude can miss a hook to the face and still catch my nose. That happened, dude. That happened. I got a nosebleed last night in sparring because I was back to it. As soon as I got back to Richmond, I was back in the gym, and yeah, dude, some guy just nice, beautiful hook over the top. I leaned my head back, thought I was out of it, and pow. It was bleeding out of the nose.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious, when these holidays come around, is it are you in grind mode, or did over time that just become a thing?
I think I'm just in grind mode all the time, Ev. I mean, I did take, so for instance, when I got back from New Jersey, so what I did was, so Thursday I had Thanksgiving. Friday, I want to say is the day, that's the day I traveled to Connecticut. So I traveled about an hour and 30, hour 20, went over to the gym in Connecticut because I'd known the coach for a while. I'd commentated a bunch of his guys' fights. He said, come get some rounds in. And so originally it was only supposed to be one day. I went in there, I got some rounds in, I got the shit kicked out of me, and I was getting really annoyed, and I think Coach saw that, so he was nice enough. Shout out to Campanella Martial Arts. Go there if you won't get beat up. They only put me through my paces because I said I'd like to fight at some point. They're very nice guys, and it's a very supportive and knowledgeable environment. I highly recommend it. But no, I requested all right, put me through my paces. I want to see where I'm at. So he gives me 4 of his best dudes, 2-minute rounds. I'm getting pieced up. We rolled jiu-jitsu a little bit. I got choked out, thrown around. I have a little success there. And he sees I'm kind of a little bit dejected. So he says, all right, well, just, spend the night over at my place. We're having Thanksgiving leftovers. His wife was there. She was absolutely phenomenal. Stayed over at their place with some of their extended family. And then Saturday morning, we were right back in the gym. So I sparred Saturday about 5-6 rounds, again, 2 minutes each, and left that gym. I literally went over to his house, showered, and then left for New Jersey. Drove about 2 hours, got to the Rigoro gym, shout out to them, in Midlands, and got some work in with Ethan O'Donohue and a bunch of other guys from that gym. And I think everyone wants a piece of me because I'm a commentator. I haven't figured that part out yet. I don't know why everyone's like I went into the gym and one of the guys that I've commentated over a bunch of his title fights is like, you sparring today? He looked at me like I was dinner. I was a fresh meal. And it was really scary, but it was great. Because I pushed myself, man. That's the thing, man. When everyone else was relaxing, I was putting in work. Oh, and then I forgot to say, yes, when I got back from New Jersey, that was around 5 p.m. on Saturday. I did. I watched a movie and I relaxed.
Oh, okay. Well, that is a good thing, man.
Because they told me to. I was originally going to hit a workout when I got back.
Oh, jeez. Like you needed one. You just did sparring and all that type of stuff?
Yeah, but getting hit in the face doesn't build muscle, does it?
you're working on cardio. If you're going through those sparring sessions, that's not working on cardio or strength to a degree.
Oh, no, it is. But I didn't really. See, the thing is, I didn't get much cardio in because I wasn't able to throw much.
You all got a 2-piece and a biscuit in the face.
Yeah. That doesn't work on cardio. That just works on your toughness, I guess. Which, to be fair to me, I think the one thing I do have on my side is toughness, because the way they described it at the gym is like a lot of guys would have quit or gave up to the punishment they doled to me, which I was also kind of like, all right, well then, if you were meaning to do, yeah, I don't know. They put me through my paces for sure. I was a little bit like, oh, that's awesome that I didn't quit, but then also like, wait a second, were you trying to make me, you know what I'm saying, drop? But hey, that's a fight game for you.
Well, at least you got a funny story during the holiday season, but I kind of
Season's beatings.
Yeah, pretty much. Yes, pretty much. But speaking of season's beatings, I kind of wanted to touch on something that I kind of noticed during the holidays. So I was kind of out and about. I did my typical.
Yeah, what'd you do, Mr. I know how holidays are to be celebrated?
Yeah, it should be celebrated. Kick back, chill, be with family. Kind of get your grub on and stuff of that nature within reason. Don't eat somebody out the whole entire refrigerator. You know what I mean? Pick up after yourself. You know what I mean? Don't sit over there and pack like 13 different plates.
Yeah, what do you do? How many plates you go in for?
It used to be I would do, back when my metabolism was a little better, I would do probably 3 to 4 plates. Now
3 to 4 plates? Wow.
Now I probably will only do 2. And that's because of portion control and stuff of that nature.
Yeah, I only do usually. I did 2 this year. I think, yeah, and I don't usually.
Last year I did 1.
Yeah, well, do you guys must have? You guys probably have it better than we have, because I know I learned this recently that a thing at Thanksgiving is apparently macaroni and cheese.
Yes.
We don't have that at our Thanksgiving, and I felt almost like, whoa, what the fuck? Why? Like, I want some mac and cheese. We have mashed potatoes, we have turkey, stuffing, sweet potato, like sweet mashed potato, which is really good. I'll defend that to the day I die.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how seasoned is it?
It's not seasoned at all. It's not supposed to be. It's just
whoa,
sweet.
What?
Sweet mashed potato?
I'm talking about all the food in general.
Oh, all the food in general? On a scale of 1 to 10? 7. I thought you were talking about sweet. Yo, what the fuck are we doing, bro? What is this? Yo, you looked at me like, just because I'm white. But if I say something, I'm just playing. No, it was, yeah, we I'm trying to think what I was laughing, thinking about just putting everything but the bagel on the mashed potatoes. Mm-hmm. What do we have? We have mashed potatoes. We have the sweet potato mashed potatoes. So it's like, I think it's called sweet potato, the orange, right? Yeah.
Was it,
it's orange, basically, potatoes. I think they are called sweet potato because you can get sweet potato fries. Yes.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Sweet potato.
Mm-hmm.
So we have sweet potato mashed, regular mashed, turkey, stuffing. Oh, God. Challah rolls, because we are Jewish. Those are bomb every single time. And then we usually have dessert. But I didn't know that the culinary scale of Thanksgiving was a lot more, there was a lot more depth to it at other places.
It's like collard greens, stuffing, mac and cheese, candied yams. There's
candied yams sounds good.
Sweet potato pie, pumpkin pie. We don't really do pumpkin pie.
I heard Hawaiian rolls being tossed around a lot this year.
Yep.
What's up with the sweet Hawaiian rolls? Why is that a thing?
I
love a sweet Hawaiian roll.
The taste is pretty much, that goes kind of hand in hand. If you're going to get a roll, you have to get a sweet Hawaiian roll for Thanksgiving.
Try a challah roll.
That kind of goes hand in hand.
Oh, it does? All right. Well, try out, anyone that's watching, get a challah roll every once in a while. Some of the best bread you'll taste. Very fluffy, disintegrates in your mouth. You dip it in some, we have a gravy. That's another staple. Dip it in some gravy. It's the best, one of the best breads I've ever had. And that's not just because I'm Jewish.
I mean, I'll try it out. If you offer it, I'll try it out one day.
You gotta like bring me some Thanksgiving leftovers, honestly, because, oh no, I think we did have collard greens. What consists of collard greens?
Pretty much collard greens is seasoned with ham and a couple of other things.
Then we did have collard greens. Excuse me. Yeah, I should be putting more respect on my family's Thanksgiving tradition. I'm trying to think of what else. I don't know if we had necessarily. Oh, we had candied carrots.
Okay.
which sounds crazy to say candied carrots. But it was like, I don't know.
See that look on my face?
No, but you pour, I think you pour like maple syrup or something, or like some sweetener on it, and they kind of like harden a little bit, but then you microwave them or put them in the oven or something. I'm making it sound a lot more bare bones than it is, but it's really, really good. I had 2 plates. I ate good.
I'm not a big carrot guy.
I didn't peg you as a carrot guy.
I can do carrot cake, but anything past that, I really can't do carrot.
Why you can't do carrots?
Well, this was like 10 years ago. I just came down with like a really, really bad illness. And I literally, I was so sick and nauseous that I couldn't even stand the noise of the radio. Like, I told my mom to turn the radio down when I was in the car with her at one point. So I spent the next week and a half, it felt like longer than that, literally eating nothing but carrot stew. That's all I could eat. I couldn't have nothing. I couldn't have nothing else. And then eventually the sickness went away.
Carrot stew.
But it was just, the taste was just terrible. I mean, my mom tried to finesse it, but I don't like carrots. So I have no choice. I'm literally to get better, I'm literally forced to eat carrot stew because of the nutritional benefits of what it can do. So I'm just sitting there. I'm just hating life at this point. I mean, it felt like I don't know where this sickness came from because I was fine before that. And then all of a sudden, the season changed and I got hit with this huge sickness out of nowhere.
Carrot stew sounds disgusting.
Ain't had a choice. You had to do it to get healthy, man.
What it tastes like? Carrot?
It tastes like strong carrot soup, but like the raw,
Man's having a PTSD flashback trying to.
This is why I can't even look at carrot the same after, because that's all I had. That's all I could have. That I could do that and water. That's all I could have. That's how bad I was sick.
More carrots for me, dude. I was shoveling.
Yeah,
those
you can
carrots
have
on
them.
my plate.
You can have them.
That was but it was a good. Honestly, it was good. And then I worked off all that the next day, or should I say, I had it worked off of me.
I mean, what you was trying to do? Fight some people at Black Friday?
I
Get
guess.
some deals? Is that what you was preparing for?
I don't know. I'm trying to take I'll say it. I'm trying to take a fight at some point, and it was actually those sparring sessions that made me realize that I should probably push it back, because originally it would have been 4 months from now, and after those sessions, I was like, yeah. The coach there kind of advised me, and I agreed. I was like, not time yet, not ready yet. Gotta sink more time into it so I can be better. Because everyone I've talked to was like, for a starter, you're not bad. Like, I move a certain way, which is not necessarily customary for a beginner to the sport, and I have certain advantages like my long legs and kind of the feel I have for the sport, I suppose. But yeah, there's just certain things like I'm very reactive instead of getting my own offense going. That's something I have to work on, finding counters, and just getting used to getting hit, because I'm not afraid anymore. But I don't. I'm still, I worry too much about the cross or the counter coming in. Like, if I were to go in and punch you, I'd be worried about what you were throwing back at me. Like, I'm thinking too much. If I throw a jab, he's going to counter with the hook. I just have to throw the jab. I can't think about it. And then over time, I'm going to learn that, when I throw the jab, you counter with the hook, there's different things I could do. I could feint the jab, come over the side, hit you with a body shot, knee inside, body kick inside, leg kick inside. So
You better save your whole strategy for the fight, because you're kind of giving it up on the pod right now.
No, that's just basic fighting. I mean, I'm just saying right now, what I'm worried about is I'm thinking one-dimensionally. So I'm thinking about the next combination. So if I throw a one, he's going to come over with the hook. That's stopping me in my tracks right now.
I got you.
Because I'm not throwing the one, because I'm like, in a weird way, I'm overthinking it, and so I have to think less to flow more so that I can think more. I don't know if that makes any sense.
No, it makes total sense. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Hearing you talk about fighting and this and that reminds me, back in the day, people be out for Black Friday, getting out in that line, have their nice cocoa, waiting for somebody at Best Buy or somebody at Target to open up the doors at 12 a.m. They come through. Next thing you know, they fighting over a daggone TV.
Yeah, that's so stupid, dude. I mean, I'm so glad. That's like one of the good things about COVID that happened, is like everyone just does their shopping online.
See, I disagree, man. I'm not saying
You
that
say it's peak hours that people got stamped and trampled on?
I'm saying, look, it was funny for the memes and the videos, but nobody wants, obviously, I don't condone violence. However, I'm talking about the deals are not even the same now. I looked at some deals, I was like, yo, come after Christmas, these deals are going to be better deals anyway.
Yeah. So
Like, here's the thing. Like,
or Cyber Monday.
Yeah, or Cyber Monday. Like, I sat back and looked at it. It was like the deals weren't even as good as they were in years past. Then I actually drove around. I drove like 10 minutes out from my hometown, right? So just to see what was happening and stuff of that nature. Man, when I tell you, it used to be 10 p.m., people were already in line, camping out, sharing hot cocoa with each other, talking, shooting the breeze. It was more of a social spectacle, if anything. Like, that's what I miss, is kind of like those traditional kind of events.
Then you look at the man next to you in line.
Because I grew up
you're gonna
on
have to
that.
potentially kill him to get ahead tomorrow.
It wasn't even, to be honest with you, I never ran into that when we were going out for Black Friday. I was too broke to get anything, so what was I gonna grab?
Watch the carnage.
I watched my other friends get stuff. I was just, to truth be told, I was out specifically just to socialize and not be stuck in the house. My friends are out, let me go out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that was one of those things. But yeah, I kind of missed that camaraderie, that friendship and this and that of doing that. That was one of those, one of those traditional things that ain't around no more.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I never got into that. I don't think, well, maybe it was more of a thing, I'm sure, when you were around my age. Mm-hmm. Now, or at least I think when it was coming to a close, or it was still a thing, but it was on the decline, none of my friends and I were like, dude, we got to go hang in the waiting line for a Best Buy at Black Friday. It was always like, I remember my dad and I would go, and we would try to find stuff. And there was always a little bit of a rush, but by that point, it wasn't even that big of a deal anyways. The deals were still monstrous, though. You could get, like, the new COD for... And I know Call of Duty always does that around the holidays anyways. They'll put out a new game, and then it'll go on sale for Black Friday, and then they'll still make a crazy amount of money off of it, off of all the people that are like, I hate the new COD, but I'm only going to buy it if it's $30, then it's $30, so everyone buys it. But, yeah, by that point, the deals were still pretty good, but people weren't really swarming like they used to. But I would just, for me, it wasn't, if I just need a social component for the holidays, I just like to see friends. Or I like to go now I already texted the coach. I was like, I might go down there for Christmas. Get some seasons beatings in. You know what I'm saying? I literally texted Coach. I said, Coach, what did I say to him? Let me see. Let's see.
You gonna go on Christmas just to get sparring in. I want you to hear yourself for a second.
Show them say what I read where I texted him. Are the hits to my head are already getting to me? I'm like, I can't even speak correctly.
Okay, I'm reading these texts. Good, I'm glad you're getting after it. Crack my nose. LMAO. Tough one today. One of your partners effed you up. Yeah, beautiful hook over the top. In a round after class that I wanted. Sometimes it's like that. Got to keep those hands up.
That's how it is.
I'll be back for either New Year's or Christmas. Either way. Hey, yo, dog. Mike, don't let this Bama end no Christmas trying to spar. Yo, man, what the world is wrong with you, man? You can't take it.
You didn't include the best part, which was the 3 boxing glove emojis.
I wouldn't have responded. Hey, Mike, I wouldn't have responded to that either. Somebody texted me being like, oh, yeah, I'm a spar, and I'm going to be there for Christmas and New Year's. Man, go home with your family, yo. Open up some gifts. Eat some food, yo. It's the holiday season. It's not that deep.
I love it, dude. Ev, I'm obsessed. What day do we have off for Christmas?
Christmas?
The 25th?
Oh, my God.
Matter of fact, let me check. Yo, hold on. Let me check, bro. Let me check. Hold on.
What day do we have off for Christmas? What do you think we have? What day do you think we have off for Christmas?
I'm Jewish. Give me a break. Okay, so all right. Yeah, wow. That sucks, dude. So I'm going to have to, I have the 25th off, but I'm going to have to come in for that Thursday.
It's going to be light work for y'all. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, and then I'll probably go home Thursday night. But, Mike, if you're watching this, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm there, pal.
Mike, it's the holiday season. Tell this man to take a rest.
You know, I know it's insane, Mike. Well, actually, that works because Wednesday, Christmas, the 25th, Thursday, I'll be going back, so I can't train or spar. Friday, Saturday, I'm all his. Pause. Him and the team, that doesn't make it any better.
No,
but you know what I'm saying?
It really don't.
You know what I'm saying though? Like I could go down those 2 days and get that work in. Maybe cross train with Ethan O'Donoghue. Shout out to the God. Get some Muay Thai rounds in.
You can do whatever you want, bro, but I really don't think anybody with common sense is not going to open up their gym to let you do whatever on Christmas Day. Heads is with their families.
Yeah, I mean, no, not on Christmas Day. What's Christmas Day? Thursday?
Even after Christmas Day, I don't think they're going to open it.
Tell me why they were open the day after Thanksgiving. That's what I'm saying, bro. Yeah, you don't have a response.
Thanksgiving is one thing. Christmas is a whole other thing to pro.
That's what I'm saying. Or New Year's Day. Doesn't have to be. What time is New? Okay, hold on. Let's see. Because we have New Year's Day off, right? What day is it? For the first? Do we have New Year's Eve off for that?
This man asked.
Do we have the day off or the eve off? Do you know through our company? I can check on work day. It's fine.
No, you ain't. Put his whole portal business out there and all that type of stuff.
A lot of companies use that. I'm not going to hold it up towards the camera.
Right, yeah, don't do that.
All right, let's see. This is beneficial for both of us, because we need to know.
I'm going to be off regardless.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we're not going to see you at all, I feel like. Yeah, so that's also on a Wednesday. So same scenario, dude. That Thursday, that Friday, that Saturday, either or. Maybe I'll do both. Who knows?
You need to relax and just focus on family and this and that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You sitting over there, you sitting over there like you got dissed. You sitting over there working out at 3 a.m., ungodly hours.
Yeah,
working out
you see me work out at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
I love it. I love the feeling of getting better. Plus, it's like I want to stop getting my ass kicked in the gym. Like it is. I feel like the sport's going to become way more fun when I start becoming good. I'm not bad right now, but I really only am competitive with a select few of people. A select group of maybe 3 or 4 people.
I mean, keep working at it. See what you can do.
Right. And what does work come with? That comes with the Friday and the Saturday after Christmas. Getting in there.
It's the holidays. You need balance.
That's true. That's true.
Shoot.
That's true.
Say
I don't know.
What you want.
I feel like I've been resting a little bit too much, though. I took that night off to watch a movie, and then the next day I didn't do much either.
Okay, 2 days out of how many times I've seen you literally grind until midnight?
Ev's watched me grind before, dude. That's crazy.
No, we're not.
He said that, bro. He
not
said that
doing
on camera.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
I think we are. I mean, we are because you said it.
Everybody knows what I mean by grind, and it's not strip club hours, none of that stuff. Everybody knows what I said.
All I know is that you said you saw me grinding at 3 a.m.
All right, we are moving on. We're moving on.
That's kind of crazy.
We're moving on. So I wanted to kind of get your opinion on this, right? Because I heard news that Drake was suing UMG for not only tampering with bots to promote Not Like Us, but also having a defamation of character suit that UMG did not do anything to prevent certain demeaning of character with Not Like Us being pushed. I kind of wanted to get your thoughts on that because what I heard through the grapevine was, why would Drake roll this out now? He seems like a sore loser that now he lost, that
Kendrick's releasing a new album.
Yeah, all this type of stuff. And now it just seems like he's being a sore loser about it. And now he's putting out a defamation of character, thing out there that he wants UMG to look into. Other people are saying that Drake is actually doing this for a bigger play at hand that could change the entire way that the music industry works. In my personal opinion, I think it is going to be an uphill battle for Drake necessarily to get what he wants. Because this is my opinion. The label will love you as long as you're with the program and you make money with them. The second that they don't, or the second that there's a rift, or the second that they feel like they have to give more than they want to, they're going to probably go, they're probably going to protect their investment or protect themselves at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
I think also at the end of the day, too, Drake is a bigger name for them. I think they'd be pretty foolish to let him go over something like this. I will say,
But they got a lot of people over there. It ain't just Drake.
I know, but he's
got a lot of
a
heavy
heavy hitter though.
UMG is the home of heavy hitters. It ain't just Drake. They got Taylor Swift over there, and I could name a whole bunch of other people.
Well, here's my thing: is like Drake is just really kind of showing himself to be the soy boy that everyone knows he is. To me, it's like, all right, dude, just you don't have to. I thought he would have been done when he took all of his stuff off of his Instagram relating to the beef and took all the. I think did he take his songs down too, or was that just? No, I don't think he took his songs down.
He released 100 gigs, which was like this library of unreleased tracks, clips of different stuff that were happening behind the scenes, him meeting people and stuff of that nature. Stuff that we sit over there and look back and go like, oh wow, he did this, he did that. Oh, this is behind the scenes of this, from like cameras following him around and different stuff like that, like footage that had never been released, which makes me think that him doing that months ago was kind of like a breadcrumb or a series of breadcrumbs leading up to this, in my personal opinion. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Do I think he's doing this for the betterment of the entire music industry as a whole? No, I don't think so. I think he's looking out for himself.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be honest with you. I think that, right or wrong, I think he don't trust, outside of the people who stuck with him up to this point, I don't think he trusts nobody in the industry. I think he's looking at everybody in the industry funny. That's just his perspective.
Yeah. Even in the NBA too.
Right. So he's looking at everybody funny. Everybody's an op. Everybody's my enemy. Well, everybody except the ones that I claim are true friends of mine. And it's at the point, like, you can't even say nothing crazy or mad, or you can't even critique Drake without getting an unfollow or without getting a subliminal or stuff of that nature.
I'll critique Drake, but he's not even following me to begin with. But dude, I think it's showing how soft he is. I think only Drake could be so self-centered to assume that the only way that a Kendrick song about him could perform well would be that UMG somehow artificially boosted the numbers and there was a whole campaign, a plot to take him down. Like, that would make any amount of sense in the world for UMG to have one of their biggest artists have a covert operation against them or against him to like bring him down. That doesn't, if you think about it, doesn't make a lot of sense. And so I think it's really just, we're seeing Drake's ego here. I think he's always been a guy that, even through his music, and it's something I've applauded him for before, is like he's very good at riding waves of trends, and I used to think a lot that he was just kind of like taking different chances with his music, right? Where he's like, okay, yeah, he comes out, what was his latest album? Dance Hall? Something like that?
His latest album that he came out with was for All the Dogs.
Yeah, was that
no, that was honestly Nevermind.
Okay,
which
honestly,
I think it's
garbage.
That might be his worst album out of everything.
Trash. But like stuff like that, that's him either trying to follow or create waves. I think Drake has always been a guy that really wants, and to a certain extent hasn't gotten the respect of the industry. He's one of the biggest artists of all time, and there's no doubt about it, pop culture wise and in this space. I just think his ego cannot allow him to just leave it. Like, I feel like, listen, you lost the battle in the eyes of the public, right? Maybe you think you didn't, but there's a certain amount of being like, okay, dude, why can't we just drop this? Why is it you can't just, I don't know, you don't even have to admit it. You don't even have to come out. If I'm Drake, I'm not even coming out in public and I'm saying, okay, Kendrick got the best of me. Because I think that's a little bit silly as well. That's giving Kendrick exactly what he wants, or, all of your haters exactly what they want. But, dude, just move past it. You lost the battle. It's fine. There was a lot of personal stuff said, but keep in mind, Drake started with the personal. Kendrick warned him, don't get personal with me. Drake got personal. Kendrick went back and forth with him. Drake had some good shots. Kendrick had some, even in my personal opinion, even better shots. You lost. It's not a UMG thing. It's not this. It's not that. I think it's just Drake always wants to seem like this mysterious guy that has a bigger plan that, I remember him saying, oh yeah, people aren't going to understand my music now, but they'll get it in the future because like my plan is unraveled. It's like, Drake, sometimes you just have, like everyone has a one-up on them at some point, come to them, excuse me. Like everyone's had that moment where they try to go out swinging or they come out big time and someone gets it over on them. I'm talking about like sparring, right? I get the shit. Dude, this past weekend, I got destroyed. I don't think there was a single round which I won, I'm pretty sure. But like that's, I think that's something that like Drake, that idea, he just can't have, like his ego can't process stuff
Well,
like
when
that.
you've been winning and winning and winning for so long, and I'm going to be honest with you, there have been claims and pretty much that have turned out to be true. When you start, this is what I've heard. When you start sleeping with other people's girlfriends and stuff of that nature, or people that they are close with, and there's actual proof of that happening to the point that it's being alluded to in songs, it's being alluded to in interviews and stuff of that nature, it's being put out there for social media to dig up and find stuff, like on top of a plethora of other things, and then it comes to a boiling point where people are getting pissed at you for whatever reason within the industry and stuff of that nature. So now it's at a point where it's like, because in my opinion, I feel like, and I may catch some flack for saying this, I feel like,
not in a bad way,
I feel like Drake, I feel like Drake's prime as an artist, is he the most popular he's ever been? Absolutely. But in terms of music wise, I think his prime years of being musically like that dude,
they're over,
is on the decline.
Okay, I shouldn't say it's over, but it's certainly on the decline. And
if you listen to
Views from the Six or whatever,
if you listen to Views, if you listen to Never Was the Same, if you listen to Take Care, and then you compare that to Certified Lover Boy, and then if you compare that to All for the Dogs, it's not even the same. It feels like the hunger to really rap about stuff and musically to put stuff together is not there. The flows are a little bit, you know what I mean?
You don't have to force that as an artist, and I feel like that's something that Drake does. And I like what you brought up, the fact that he does. He seems like a guy that his songs are at his best when he's talking about conflict. Like even some of his newer stuff, at least for me, like I like Away From Home. That's a song where he's recounting how he got to this point. I feel like that style of song for Drake is when he does some of his best work, is when he's recalling when he was in the trenches or when he was actually in the trenches or going through it with a girl. That's another big Drake staple. It's like, dude, you're a billionaire, you're Drake. You could get any girl you want, and yet you're complaining. You know what I mean? But that's where I think that's honestly where he gets a lot of his really good music from, and that's any artist. You could draw from a lot of pain, but doing this thing where it's like I feel like sometimes, and again, I like that you brought this up. It's like talking about sleeping with other, artists' girlfriends, or talking about doing these like little sly digs against people in the industry, and doing these like little sneak disses on Instagram. It's like you can't, if you're Drake, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Does that make any sense?
I get what you're saying.
Do something and then be like, oh my God, when you know what I mean? When the byproduct of your actions comes to face you, doesn't make any sense.
I think in terms of this deal, I get to a degree why it's being done. Because there's probably some information that he was made privy to that, hey, this is what's really going on with your deal. This is what's, happening. Because he did a $400 million deal. But the thing about it is this man was running around everywhere once he got that $400 million deal. Something within that paperwork probably, this is me speculating, probably didn't go right, which is causing this to happen. Here's the thing about it, though. The timing of this, to pull this out now, makes you look like that you haven't gotten over the battle, that you haven't gotten over the way the battle went. And now here you are, because all the public is seeing is you putting out a defamation of character thing with UMG. They're not seeing you doing that to UMG. They see that doing you as a response to the Kendrick, not like us.
And again,
that's how the casual fan and the thoroughbred hip hop fan is looking at it that way.
I like the fact that you said that too. It's like, it's not to say that the deal couldn't have been predatory, because I'm sure that UMG has been probably scalping artists, and I'm sure there is something there in that contract. I mean, I really don't trust any bigger corporations, so I have no doubt in my mind that UMG probably had a clause in there that if da-da-da-da-da. But yeah, dude, come on. Like, if you really think about it, does it make any amount of sense for UMG to, even if they were to go their separate direction away from Drake, why would it make any sense for them to launch a campaign against one of their biggest artists? Even if they have other artists like Taylor Swift. I'm pretty sure also, isn't Kendrick a part of UMG?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
he has this independent,
Top Dog. Yeah.
No. He left them. PL Lang.
PL Lang, yes. It just doesn't make any sense to me when Drake is one of their. I mean, in a label full of heavy hitters, he's probably one of their heaviest hitters, undoubtedly. Why on earth would they actively do something I mean, you think about it too. Kendrick talked about pedophilia. He talked about Drake, talking down to women, body shaming. I could see if what would be more believable to me is if there wasn't a lot of heat turned up in this rap battle. Like if it was just like I don't know.
But here's the thing, right?
I think I think it could serve a better purpose if it wasn't so damaging to Drake's reputation. Like if it was just a regular back and forth tit for tat,
right.
Your rap sucks, girls think you're whack, whatever, which there was some of it, but this got like a little bit too personal to where it's like, why would UMG do that to one of their artists if they have a vested interest in building them up?
But here's the thing, right? I remember early on in spring, me and you and a couple other friends, we had this conversation, and I said, and early on when this whole battle happened, and the first thing I said was, I don't see Drake going back and forth with Kendrick. Boy, was I shocked when May came around.
Yeah.
And these two were like actually going back and forth. I was like, okay, this is hip hop, this is how it goes. The issue is that, and I hate to say this, Drake is everybody's favorite supervillain now. And the thing that we have to take into account is now anything that he does or how he moves is going to be even more heavily scrutinized because now it's on the table. Are you really the hero that everybody fell in love with in the 2010s, or did you stay too long enough to make yourself the villain in a lot of ways?
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
It's one of those things, man. It's like at a certain point, it's like the timing of this does not help. Now, granted, should he care what the masses think? To a degree, if you're making money off of him, but should he care? Mostly, no, he shouldn't. In my personal opinion, the timing of this happening ain't the best because we're literally the battle is still fresh within people's brain. Kendrick just came out with an album, and now this news breaks that you are potentially looking to do this lawsuit against UMG. It's not at the point where it's a full-blown lawsuit yet, but it looks like that's the direction it's headed down. The timing of it makes him look like he's bitter about the whole entire thing.
Yeah, I think he is. I think, again, it could be one of those things where, everyone has a conspiracy brain, but if you look logistically at what realistically is going on, it's that Kendrick has just released an album, so naturally people are going to be talking again about the beef more than they would have when there wasn't an album.
Kendrick is going to headline the Super Bowl in
February.
February.
Kendrick's doing stuff. Drake feels a certain type of way. Again, and I'm not even saying that Drake can't feel a certain type of way, but just don't pretend like you're not, Like, don't, again, to your point, he comes off very bitter here, but I think realistically the timing is just that, Drake is looking at all this stuff and is like, well, there's no way that he could have done this without the help of UMG. Now he's getting all these gigs and he like the song was being played on the radio constantly. They must have had something to do with it. It's like, no, dude, Kendrick just, you went at Kendrick. Well, Kendrick technically, didn't Kendrick strike first? Sort of.
There has always been, and I'm not going to make this a long story, but there's always been talk as to who the best out of the big three was. Who was the best? Was it J. Cole? Was it Kendrick? Was it Drake?
Kendrick came out and said, basically, fuck the big three. It's just me.
Right.
And Drake goes back and forth with him. Again, I maintain, if this had been just a regular beef, we wouldn't be thinking about it the same. You know, okay, sure, yeah, Kendrick won that, but it's like, all right, Drake is still Drake.
But Drake has for years wore his emotions on his sleeve.
Right.
This shouldn't be a surprise to how he's acting.
Right.
If you got somebody that wears their emotions on their sleeve, no matter how they may act or what they say.
Yeah, and so again, like he got himself into the situation. He goes back and forth with Kendrick. He gets personal. Kendrick bodies him, just puts out the more, I'll go ahead and say it, and I believe this to be the case, the more lyrically hitting, substantive, and thought-provoking out of the two. I think Drake had more like, if you want to talk more, like one side here is the club records, and then the other side here is like lyrical miracle Kendrick. You know what I mean? Like real hip, like real rap stuff that makes, like even Common over here. That's a deep pull because I don't know if many people are gonna know who Common is. I'm sure you're surprised I even know who Common is. But like think about it like this: club scene to Common. Kendrick had like more towards the Common side, where it's like you listen to it and you're like, wow, yeah.
Pretty much the conscious rap side.
Conscious rap. There you go. Drake had the more like, okay, out of the two of them, yeah, I could bop to this.
But you can't do a bop in the middle of a rap battle and expect to win.
That's what I'm saying. Drake, and I remember we listened to it in the car. Remember, we listened to Drake's response. We were kind of like, all right, he just played around with his food for 4 minutes. And then the last like 2 minutes of the song, he got personal. Then Kendrick came out, bodied him. Everyone was saying that Kendrick couldn't make a club song that also bodied Drake. Then Kendrick came out and did that, and then he's been riding the momentum off of that song. O-V-Ho, O-V-Ho. He's been riding the momentum of that ever since. Drake, it's not some big conspiracy, bro. Kendrick just won that fair and square and bodied you while also making a club record. Would we be having a different conversation if Kendrick had probably just kept to the conscious rap? Maybe. That's an interesting thing.
I don't know. I mean...
Yeah, they're not giving him the. I don't think they're giving him the Super Bowl spot. It doesn't meet the Grams.
This ain't the same. And this is just me musically. This is my music opinion. Separated from this musically, I think Drake is not who he was 2015, 2014.
Yeah, well, no, that's obvious
from a lyrical standpoint,
right?
Which I'm gonna be honest with you. I think the thing about artists is that when you love an artist, right? You love their rise. Like I can remember out of all the times, and I'll throw an artist out there, for example. Enjoy listening to The Weeknd, but I enjoy listening to the stuff that came out 2010 to like 2013. So that time period of The Weeknd, and the reason why is you were getting the raw essence of who that artist is. Once they start getting big and major, that sound, those lyrics, and some of that kind of goes away, and it becomes more streamlined and more for the masses, and becomes more about, hey, we need this to be formulaic in some type of way. With Drake, and just with how he's moving, and also you have to understand, with the different levels of beef and fame and moving in certain types of ways, and the way that he is maneuvered within the industry, whether he has uplifted people or pissed people off. There's a crowd of people that appreciate Drake. There is a crowd of people that can't stand him. He is one of the most polarizing rappers in his generation because of the way he's moved.
I'll say it like this too. Again, I like that you bring up that point, and I think this kind of goes towards what we're saying. Think about it like this from UMG's perspective. You have Drake and Kendrick. Kendrick is a guy that seldom really drops an album. He'll kind of like go into hiding for however long.
No, he's been pretty. If you look at the years that he's actually come out with an album, I think because
not as consistent as Drake though.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Like I could sit over here and say I'm sick of listening to Drake because every time I turn around I'm hearing him. The other guy, somebody can then turn around and be like, make a narrative because we had to wait a little bit of time after Damn. Can be like, oh, when is Kendrick coming out?
Well, here's what I'm saying. Let me land the plane real quick.
Yeah, I got you.
Would it make sense for UMG to trash the artist out of the two of them? To take this, because this is kind of, there's an implicit, I guess, implication on Drake's side that they took Kendrick's side in it. It's like, now Kendrick is UMG's guy. They're going to do their best to defame Drake in a certain way. If you think about it logistically, wouldn't it make sense to back the guy in Drake that drops consistently, that is the bigger, well, I don't know about the bigger pop culture name now, but for the longest time was getting more exposure and is not going to take a certain amount of time in between albums? Like, I think that has to bear repeating, in that Drake, before all this went down, I was seeing him do streams. I was seeing him more in the media doing interviews. Like, there was a time where I really couldn't remember seeing Drake on a ton of media appearances. I can't remember what era it was, but I know right before the beef, he was doing YouTube videos with Lil Yachty. He was doing podcasts. He had his own streaming. That's where the I need a Max Ween, you know what I mean? That type of stuff comes out. I just don't think that it would be very advisable for UMG to trash their artist out of the two of them that drops more consistently and could stand to make them more money.
Yeah, I'll put it to you like this. I don't put nothing past the music industry. However, like, Drake has benefited off of the maneuvers of what the industry has done. So I don't know how I don't know what the details are in that particular agreement that they have, but for years, for it to be, hey, like, this is gravy, this is good, I'm cool with this, or whatever's going on, and now for it to be, because it wasn't too long ago he signed that, I think it was like a $400+ million deal with UMG.
Right.
For it to now, it's been a short time, and for there to be issues with it on top of this, the timing does raise an eyebrow, which is causing people to look at him and go, why are you trying to bring lawyers into a rap beef? That's what's causing this, because of the timing. But I think as the months transpire and go on, I think hopefully we get down to what are the details within what's going on between him and UMG.
Yeah.
I'm hoping we do that.
That's what wouldn't make much sense for UMG, to your point, to sink $450 million into a guy and then actively be like, poke Kendrick and be like, all right, now talk about the fact that he could be a pedophile.
Yeah,
you
like
got
a
a
point.
It's like, what? That doesn't make any sense to me either.
Yeah, it's one of them things. It's you know what I mean? It's like,
and it's like, I'm not even that big in, like, I'm not, you're much more the well-versed between the two of us in this stuff, and, like, I'm a fan, but I'm not, I guess, as well-versed as you would be in the politics of the rap game or in the politics of how music labels operate, because you've been a fan of music and the space for much longer than I have. But to me, again, maybe just from an outsider's perspective, what I'm seeing from Drake here is that, yeah, like, it might just be a little bit of cope. And listen, it's fine. Like, I don't even think Drake is a bad artist. Like, I don't think many people would care if he just lost and moved on from it. But he's making a bigger thing. He's certainly rolling the snowball down the hill now. Mm-hmm. And it's picking up speed as it goes along. He's only hurting his career from here.
No, I got you. I definitely get you. Man, I want to thank you for coming through. Appreciate you. Absolutely,
Always.
Man. We'll be back here with another episode. Y'all take care, all right?
See y'all.